Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, let me begin by thanking Special Representative Mr. Muhammad Ibn Chambas for his briefing on the latest report of the Secretary General on the activities of the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, UNOWAS, and the implementation of the United Nations Integrated Strategy for the Sahel. His personal commitment and efforts to help countries in West Africa deserve our appreciation. I once again convey our deepest condolences for the dastardly terrorist attack in Niger, which we strongly condemn. We stand in solidarity with the government and the people of Niger in the fight against terrorism. Presidential elections held in Guinea, Côte d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and Niger have further consolidated democracy in West Africa. Although these elections have had their share of political tensions, violence, and electoral disputes, stakeholders took recourse to legal means for resolving these disputes, which is an encouraging sign of growing confidence and respect for constitutional bodies. The joint regional efforts involving the ECOWAS and the African Union, ably supported by UNOWAS, have had a positive impact on the election process. The increasing participation of women in the government and decision-making process in many West African countries is another positive development. We also join others in appreciating the role played by the United Nations Integrated Peace-Building Office in Guinea-Bissau, which has now completed its mandate in bringing peace and stability in Guinea-Bissau. India welcomes the positive developments and congratulates the people and leadership of these countries for reaffirming their faith in democracy and for their commitment to sustainable peace and development. As the world's largest democracy, we are convinced that effective and strong governance structures will help stabilize peace, safeguard fundamental rights, protect rule of law, and make governance more representative, transparent, responsive, and human-centric. Mr. President, before we address the situation in Mali, I express our deep condolences over the death of French soldiers involved in Operation Barkhane in Mali earlier this month. We acknowledge the role of ECOWAS in facilitating the swift civilian-led transition in Mali and fully support Mali's transition government. The quest for sustainable peace in Mali requires a comprehensive and inclusive approach. The last 8 years have exposed the limitations of overdependence on military solutions to redress the problems of violence in Mali and in the wider Sahel region. We believe that full implementation of the 2015 Algiers Accord, political and administrative reforms, including the decentralization of powers for adequate political participation of marginalized sections of society, swift disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration and electoral reforms are fundamental for restoration of peace and stability in Mali. It is indeed laudable how countries in West Africa have effectively managed the COVID-19 pandemic. As pointed out by the Secretary General in his report, ECOWAS, governments, national stakeholders, and the people of West Africa and the Sahel deserve our commendation for their efforts to tackle the pandemic effectively. However, the impact of economic downturn due to the pandemic has been severe, and therefore the countries of the region need international support to cope with the crisis. Mr. President, the security situation in the Sahel and Lake Chad region remains a matter of serious concern. Terrorism, drug trafficking, and organized crime have continued unabated. The terror attacks in Burkina Faso, particularly in regions bordering Mali and Niger, have again underscored the urgent need to intensify efforts to combat terrorism, which is spilling over into other countries and regions. The activities of Boko Haram in Nigeria and Lake Chad have not subsided either. The recent terror attacks by the Islamic State's West Africa province are more brutal than those carried out by Boko Haram. ISWAP, supported by elements in West Asia and North Africa, is emerging as a radicalized and brutal terrorist entity, posing a serious threat to peace and stability in the region. I would like to emphasize the need to ensure an integrated approach towards the region because many of their problems are regional in nature, thus requiring an integrated and multi-country approach. For example, the problem of drying up of Lake Chad, which adjoins four different countries, Chad, Niger, Nigeria, and Cameroon, has caused grave socioeconomic problems and also spurred radicalization and terrorism. We therefore need closer coordination and counter-terrorism cooperation in the region and its periphery to counter the growth of terrorist entities effectively. The coordinating role of UNOWAS, its support to national governments, and its partnership with G5 Sahel and ECOWAS will be critical. We strongly condemn the terrorist attacks on civilians as well as national, regional, and international security forces in the region and support a strong military response. The governments of the region have shown tremendous resolve to take on terrorist groups. We commend the efforts of regional counterterrorism initiatives such as G5 Sahel Joint Force and Multinational Joint Task Force, which is a model that illustrates the ownership taken by countries of the region for their collective security. The Council and the international community need to actively support these initiatives. On the piracy front, it is a matter of concern that the Gulf of Guinea remains a piracy hotspot with 17 incidents having occurred during the last 6 months. Several Indian sailors have been victims of piracy and kidnappings. There is an urgent need to increase surveillance to ensure maritime security in the area through increased international collaboration. While terrorism and piracy need to be effectively and decisively dealt with, international community also needs to develop a coherent, coordinated, and cooperative approach to deal with the worrisome humanitarian situation in the Sahel. Mr. President, India has been steadfast in extending support to the countries of the region in their efforts to bring back peace, stability, and normalcy. In the Gulf of Guinea, India is engaged in combating piracy and ensuring maritime security and safe navigation. India became a full-fledged member of the G77 group of friends of the Gulf of Guinea in 2020. To tackle the COVID-19 pandemic, India has been extending support to governments in the region, including by providing essential medicines to 12 countries in West Africa. India is also participating in the G20 debt service suspension initiatives to provide debt relief that includes countries in the region as well. India has so far provided soft loans amounting to US $3.3 billion for projects in agriculture, irrigation, water supply, energy, solar, and health sectors. Under the ambit of the India-UN Development Partnership Fund, we are also providing US $9 million for livelihood projects in 9 West African countries. India has a robust security partnership with countries in the region. We have also commenced counter-terrorism training in the region. Under our Defense iTech training program, we are currently providing 250 training slots to countries in the region. We remain committed to support countries through capacity building and strengthening of democratic institutions. In conclusion, Mr. President, I would like to reiterate India's support to the activities of UNOWAS, its collaboration with sub-regional organizations, and achieving political stability, lasting peace, and sustainable development of the West Africa and Sahel region. Thank you.